Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading anything as of late. I've been having issues with my camera because it's on my phone, unfortunately, and it's just not viable for me to continue uploading videos based on footage from my camera. It just won't work. So I am saving up to get a new camera. But what I do have for you are the releases for the month of February, and I'm just calling them releases because these are the cups that I worked on during the month of January, and I released them on February 2nd. And by release, I mean I did post them all on Etsy for around $30 each, with the exception of one of them, which is a little bit less expensive due to a defect that's on one of the logos. There are 6 cups in total, and unfortunately the footage and photos that you're seeing are actually all from pretty much my Instagram. I didn't really record much of the process of making most of these cups, with the exception of a few random videos here or there. And but yeah, most of them are just sort of final shots and maybe some stuff that I was doing as I was going through the process, but this is not a process video. But the first cup that's here is my BTS rose gold cup. This is the cup that was in the previous video just now, but I covered over that very fine glitter with a chunkier rose and golden shifting glitter, and then over that I placed a gold decal. My initial intention was to put a second decal over the golden one, and unfortunately it just didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. So this one has a bit of a smudge on the logo, therefore it's a little bit less expensive than the others. And on a last side note, this one actually shines the brightest indoors, which I thought was really cool. And next up is the black and blue Ateez Treasure Cup. It's based on the most recent album, the Epilogue album, and I have this one as well. And I just thought the color combination was really striking, so I wanted to recreate that on a cup. I've actually made this design before on a cup that had a lot more of a curvature to it. I think I've uploaded that video, but this time I used a more linear straight lined cup, so the bar went on there a lot more easily. But again, I did still add the names of all the members on there in order to make it a little bit more visually interesting. And the black bar does go all the way around, and it does have the Ateez logo threaded through it as well. And next up is the 17 cup. I'm not a huge fan of 17, but I do have friends who are, and they really asked for this one. And I wanted to do something a little bit different with this cup versus the other ones, so I decided to attempt to make a Milky-way tumbler. For the glitter layer, I think I used around 11 or 12 different glitters. And then for the actual Milky Way effect, I used, I believe, 4 micas and inks to get that sort of milky effect, I guess you could say. And it's got gold and pink and white and a Cajun champagne sort of gold mica mixed in there as well to give it that really iridescent shift, and it's just honestly so beautiful. And in my first attempt at this, I did the decal using a pink and blue sort of shifting opalescent outline on the logo. And to be honest with you, I wasn't super happy with it. Like, it's pretty, but it wasn't quite what I had in mind. So I ended up actually pulling that completely off. And in this picture, you can kind of see it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I pulled it off and I replaced it with a gold decal, or a gold outlined decal. And I think it looks a lot better. And additionally, in addition to that particular decal, there's also a tiny little decal on the back for the carrots. And that's all been epoxied over. And honestly, it turned out so beautifully. And next up is the EXO White Galaxy Cup, and I threw this photo up so you could see that I used a stencil to get this design on here, and I used a chunky white iridescent glitter as the base, and then put the stencil over it and got this dark galaxy effect logo in the center of the cup. And you know, it's a fairly simple design, but it took me a while to figure it out to get it to look quite the way I wanted to. This is actually my 3rd attempt at this EXO White Galaxy cup, And I actually recorded a video for my first attempt, but it didn't get posted because I was just really unhappy with it. So, but that's the cup, and then I guess we're moving on to the next one, and that would be the Aghase Love green tumbler, green and white tumbler. And I have this photo up. This was all of my cups like pre-glitter, but this one is a green to white shifting ombre, and I had painted the base green in order to make sure that it was super saturated. And that's the same white glitter that's actually on the EXO cup, and for whatever reason the EXO cup just doesn't, the photos of it are just not shining as brightly, even though it's the same glitter. But if you look at this, I had a flock of white birds or Aghase flying around the cup, and then interspersed between the birds are 7 green birds to represent each of the members. And you know, I've done this cup once in the past, and this is, I guess, volume 2 of this. I don't know that I'll do this particular design again or anytime soon. I do have another Got7 cup coming up next month, but it won't look like this. It'll be a little bit different. But yeah, this one is really, really beautiful. This is the one that a lot of people were asking me about, so I decided to try and do another version of it, and this was the result. And last but not least is the black and blue cherry blossom Monsta X cup. And I started with a design that I made in Illustrator, and this is just a photo I took of the screen. And I was kind of going back and forth on my colors, and I looked at my vinyl before making a decision. And this was actually me doing a test on different levels of blue glitter that I was going to put into the cup. And as you can see here, I ended up basically adding a little bit of a blue shifting sparkle to the black in order to get that shift, and then did 3 different layers of vinyl in order to get that look. And this is how it turned out. And I'll be honest with you, this is the one cup where I guess if it doesn't sell by next month, I think I'm just going to keep this one for myself because I absolutely love how this turned out. It's probably one of the prettier cups that I've made, even though it's just so simple. But it's got that blue holographic vinyl for the logo and the name, and then the 2 different shades of blue for the cherry blossom, and that blue shifting sparkle. It doesn't show up so well in regular light, but in natural light, or I'm sorry, in indoors, it's absolutely beautiful. So that's all of the cups. I'm sorry, this photo actually doesn't have the EXO one. It just got cut out for whatever reason. But that's all 6 of the cups for February. And if you're interested in any of them, they will all be linked in the description down below. And I will try to have another video up before they come out next month. But that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next month. Bye.